And it feels normal. Like if someone would have told me 10 months ago, like, you're going to make an 8K month in December, I would be like, wow, that would be like the dream. And obviously it is, but now that I'm here, it's normal. Like I've been expecting this. And even for me to think about 15K, 20K, 30K, it doesn't feel like it's far away. Like it's only a few tweaks left and I'm gonna be there. And knowing exactly what I need to do to get there, it just makes my whole business so much more exciting.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Super pumped and excited to be here with Aron Ling and doing a client success interview with his experience inside the Diamond Life Mentorship. I am really looking forward to hearing your story and what you have accomplished in the last little while since you've been in the program. So why don't we start off by, introducing yourself and letting us know how you're doing over there. You're in Southeast Asia right now, is that right?
Yes, so I'm Aron. I'm living on a tiny remote island called Gili, right outside Bali. Most
Amazing.
people hear about Bali, never about this tiny island. No traffic. It's beautiful, nice and peaceful. Just how
That's
I like
so
it.
good. And it's early morning there for you?
Yeah, 6 o'clock. But no worries. I'm an early riser. Usually get up
Okay.
at 5.
Amazing, man. Well, I'm excited to hear your story. And for those of you that are catching this live right now or the replay, go ahead and say what's up in the chat. Let us know you're watching, you're listening. Congratulate Aron as he shares his story, shares his success, lots of energy, lots of excitement. We always appreciate that from you guys. And so we're going to dive right into it. So tell us a little bit about your backstory. What is your past career and what did you do kind of growing up? Where did you come from originally before you got onto a tiny little remote island in Bali with your online business, being able to work from anywhere in the world? Tell us how you got here.
So I am originally from Stockholm, Sweden. I was living there up until my 20s. I didn't really see the point in school. I kind of rushed through it and I always wanted to go out, travel the world. So I did. So as soon as I got 20, started traveling, went to Australia, and I just fell in love with that lifestyle. The freedom, traveling, meeting new people. And that continued for a couple of years. Like I knew that at some point, I'm gonna figure my life out, but I'll deal with that later. So I kept on traveling, but what I didn't expect was that after one of my travels, I think I went to Southeast Asia for about 6-7 months. I came to this island where I'm now living, and this is about 8 years ago, and I fell in love. It felt like I had come home for the first time in my life. Like everything made sense. I had kind of a spiritual awakening. I saw everything perfectly clear. And I thought back then, because the online world wasn't really a thing as it is now anyway. So I thought the most logical thing to do to be able to set myself up would be to invest in land, but build a hotel from scratch. I had no clue what I was getting myself into, which I'm happy for, because if I did, I would probably not do it. So I just went all in, signed the papers for land. I had like 200 euros in my pockets. I figured out, I'm going to figure this out. Somehow, if this is meant to be, it's going to happen. So I went back to Sweden to look for money because I didn't have any money to even pay for the land or deposit or anything. And I started working like insane. I was killing myself in a grocery store, weekends, nights, mornings, it didn't matter. Like I didn't prioritize my health at all because I had my dream to build. So I kept living like this for a couple of years. Started building, investing in the land, in the hotel, but I had a lot of bad luck in terms of like the timing. So just as we had finished building, so I did this with one of my travel buddies that I had been traveling with. Just as we finished, like the main pieces of like a pool, a bar, we had an earthquake to just demolish the place, and I had taken a lot of loans to finish building. So I thought I was this close to living my life in freedom, and then just, ripped away from me.
Wow.
So I went back to Sweden to continue to work, to renovate the damages. I was working for another 2 years And I thought that I had already finished, like, all right, this is it, my life of freedom, all is going to be good. Another 2 years on top of that, came back down here, paid off the debt, started renovating the place, and then COVID hit. So now my business was redundant again, and my dream was taken away from me a second time. So I went back to Sweden, and now it was dark, like one blow, all right. Like, as you read in books, like, you have to go at least through one hurdle minimum. So when COVID hit, I realized that I have to find another way. There has to be a better way, because clearly this is not working out. I had spent about $100,000 with like all the hours of working and sacrificing like the good years of my 20s, and it hadn't gotten me anywhere. And that's how I magically found this online business, and it just made perfect sense. Because I wanted to work online, but I didn't want to work for someone else because of the time zone difference with living here. And I didn't want to work with something else here. So I really wanted something to be in full control over my life, my time, where I work. If I want to go back to Sweden to visit family and friends, I wanted to build like something sustainable long term. And this just made perfect sense for me. And then I went for it.
Wow. That's a crazy story. Holy smokes, man. Talk about adversity and setbacks and thinking you had the perfect plan, and it just kind of ended up showing you, multiple times that, hey, you're on the right track, but maybe this isn't the right opportunity, the right vehicle. And it's funny, right? Because I always think that like hindsight is 2020, so we can see clearly if you go into the future, oh, I see why that happened for me. It was basically a warning, like, this isn't what you're supposed to be doing. There's something even better than this in the future, right? But yeah, if you guys are listening to this right now, can you relate to what he's saying? Can you relate to having a plan when you're young, in your 20s, for freedom or to travel or something, and then something unexpected happens, right? Like an earthquake and COVID. Those are two things that you would never have a plan for, a contingency plan inside of a business proposal. Like, what happens if there's an earthquake? It's not there. What happens if a global pandemic? It's not there. So I'm sure you covered a lot of things in your planning, but that was missed. So then you found this online business, and there was obviously a financial investment for you. What was going on in your head when you were down and out, two big financial setbacks for you? What were you thinking about this time? Were you a little bit intimidated, or did you not care?
Well, I think the good thing was that I had already invested so much money in a project that wasn't working, or at least not for that time. And that was like a lot more money. So for me, like looking, because like I wouldn't change anything that happened, because it gave me a lot of insights and a lot of knowledge, and knowing what that meant of like the $100,000 that I had spent, that it wasn't a scalable business. Like, it was a small hotel with, 4 rooms. So when I looked at this investment, it's just a fraction of investing in a hotel, but the potential was, a lot bigger in terms of freedom, time, the scalability. So with having that background and kind of comparing to, okay, what have I been getting for $100,000 over the last 6 years compared to what I can get for a fraction of that? So it just made sense. I was lucky to have that background, because otherwise I'm not sure I would go for it. Like, because I had already tried, and I knew that as long as I keep trying and looking into different opportunities, eventually I will get there. Like, obviously I had the fire. I just needed the right vehicle to be able to take me to where I wanted to go. And now it just happened to be a lot better vehicle in like every single aspect of business, in my opinion.
I hear what you mean. I think often when people come across an opportunity, they're expecting it to be, free or very low investment, but they also have big goals. So I find it interesting where one of the things I used to say a lot when I was helping somebody make a decision was, if you could pay for something once, like a certain amount of money, for example, and then make more than that eventually every single month after month after month after month after month, then is there really problem with the cost or the investment, because the ROI, the multiple, is forever, even though the investment is one time. And a lot of people don't quite get that. They think, oh yeah, but it's too much and all this kind of thing. So for your case, you had like a 10 times bigger investment prior with the hotel. So you're like, wait, there's way more perks, way more benefits, there's way more potential, not just in one location like a hotel, but also globally, which is really powerful. So you got started, you saw the value financially, it made sense to you, you got in because of your prior story. So what did the beginning look like for you? Did you get off to a good start? Was it hard for you at first? Or talk to us about the first little while after you got started with your online business.
Oh, it was messy. I was dealing with a lot of limiting beliefs in terms of like social media, showing up, and just understanding marketing. Like I didn't have any background at all, and I really struggled with showing up and like speaking openly about the opportunity. I was kind of beating around the bush. I wasn't really sure, and in the beginning, I didn't have 100% belief in like the business model and everything that comes with that. So I really loved the product. Like the moment I saw the product, I was like, okay, I'm in. I don't care if this is gonna work or not. Like I want the product. So, and once I had the product, it was like, okay, now I have a product and I have the platform. I have people to speak to. So why not give this a try? But I hadn't made that 100% committed decision that, okay, I'm gonna see this through and I'm gonna make this happen. So when I was just kind of dipping my toes, I didn't apply myself. It wasn't enough for me to overcome my fears and really give my all. So I was kind of trying a few ads, was worried about investing in ads. I thought I was just wasting my money. I tried to build organically because I would save money. So I was using a lot of time and it didn't really lead me anywhere. And after I think a good 8-9 months, I finally started to run ads. I was lucky. It was kind of a hit and miss, but I started to find one that was bringing in leads, which was really exciting. Like, okay, now I actually have a business. I'm speaking to people, but I was still struggling. Like I was having 50 messages a day, and a lot of them were not really going anywhere. They didn't take any action. They started ghosting me, the good old, like how it always is in the beginning. But I started to see the potential as I was watching more calls and I was hearing more success stories, and the more I was plugged in, and something happens where I really made that committed decision that, okay, I can make this happen. Like I want to make this happen because I see what's possible, and I haven't seen anything like this anywhere else. So I really started to build up that belief, and now things started to change, and the conversation with the leads started changing, and I was getting a really high number of people starting with the platform. But I hadn't made any online sales. We made an offline sale to a friend leading with the product, but I was really struggling with the whole psychology and the mindset of marketing and sales online, and like what the leads are, kind of what they're thinking and how we can help them. Like I had no clue. So it was kind of a hit and miss with a lot of the stuff that I was doing. But at the same time, building up my confidence with the call. So I was starting to have a lot of people starting with the platform. And now I had spent, so what I realized was, okay, I've spent about 5 months just in the inbox getting people to sign up, and there hasn't been any sales. And all of a sudden I realized that there's a completely different game after they sign up. And I realized, wow, how long is this going to take for me to figure all this stuff out on my own? And like I was, spending most of my time in the inbox anyway. So I didn't have any time in improving my systems and optimizing anything. So I was really struggling with how, like, I know I can make this work, but it's gonna take a long time for me if I'm gonna have to figure it out on my own.
Mm-hmm. And so roughly when you're describing this right now, you were how many months after you started the business? Like when you were basically getting leads into the system, but you weren't getting any online sales on the back end. How long were you in the business for?
12 until I started having leads, still 14 until I had my first sale.
Okay, great. And so you got to a point where you started thinking to yourself, maybe there's a faster way for me to learn. Is that around the time when you were looking for mentorship and coaching?
I had been watching like this program for a long time.
Okay.
And like I knew that it could help me, but I was just scared of taking that step. You know, imposter syndrome. Maybe I'm at too low level to even, you know, enter the mentorship. I don't have any sales. I don't have anything. Like I have a couple of leads, but if my ad gets shut down, I have nothing because I don't know how to create a good ad.
Right. I hear you. Yeah, it's interesting that you're saying that. I think it's a very common belief for people, a limiting belief, is that they want to take the step after they're ready, but the step they take is what makes them ready for the next. It's literally the opposite. So for me, over my journey, I've always done things unknowingly at first, and then I realized that I was doing it the right way. But every time I was afraid of that next step or the next commitment or investing in myself or getting higher level coaching, it always felt uncomfortable at first. And then once I did it, then I caught up, like my development caught up to that level, or I got inspired by people around me. And I noticed, like, if they could all do it, why can't I? And then my belief grew from there. So that's really powerful that you're saying that. So then how long ago did you get into the program then? How long has it been? I got to fix my mic 1 second. But keep talking.
So I started in April, I think. End of March, beginning of April, somewhere around the time.
Amazing. So it's about 10 months or so now?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Roughly, yeah.
So talk about what were some of the big shifts that happened for you after you decided to get into the program. Like, what were some of the big aha moments and breakthroughs in the beginning that made you start showing up in your life and your business differently and getting different results?
So I think just working through the modules in the beginning was a complete mind blow with the self-assessment and your take on goal setting. Like I've tried a lot of different ways to set goals, but this one was just more logical and gave you actionable steps to going there. So instantly I had like a laid out plan that I had come up with myself. And it's like, okay, this is what I have to focus with in order for me to get to the next point. But in general, like I think positioning is the number one for me, because like in the beginning of my business, I was like, everybody, please come and buy. I don't care who you are, just come and buy my shit. And like
I know that feeling.
And with that energy, no one wanted to buy. It's like, and when I flipped that around and I was like, wait, I'm not sure that I want to work with you. Like, who are you? Like, are you really going to show up in the way that I'm expecting you to? And all these tiny mindset tweaks of always being plugged in and watching the coaching calls from the program it's just always like it changed so much when it comes to belief and confidence and like this positioning. And now it's really an integrated belief in like, okay, no, I don't want you to come and buy. Like I have some standards that you need to meet first. And this was the biggest aha moment for me in terms of, okay, this is why no one wants to get on a call. No one wants to start in the platform. No one wants to invest in the products and get started and work with me because, you know, I'm desperate. So that was the biggest shift, because it pours over into in so many areas of your business. Like if that's the energy you have and you're writing content and you're kind of just wanting to get everybody coming in, you're not qualifying them at all. So it changed the content, the way I showed up on stories on my Instagram, and the way I communicated with leads. It changed the game completely.
Amazing.
Was, like, the biggest one.
Amazing. So at what point did you feel like, because you said you were watching for a while and you didn't want to get started, you were intimidated by, you know, the mentorship or the community or other members in the community, other people's results. So at what point after you made the decision did you feel like it was a good decision and you got an ROI and you were on the right track? How long did it take you for you to feel that way?
30 minutes into the first coaching call.
30 minutes. Wow, I think that might be a new record, man. That's amazing. I love to hear that, because for me, what gets me excited is to change people's lives, right? Like for me, the reason why I started this mentorship on top of everything else I do is because I want to hear the stories. That gets me so fired up, is like, here's where I was at. This is what I was going through. Then I did this and I started working with you. I learned these things, and like, now we're getting to the good stuff, right? So I always like to hear the story. It really inspires me. So you got ROI, felt like you made the right decision 30 minutes into your first call, which is just incredible. So happy to hear that. And so from there, I think, what happened next? So you basically got the mindset shift. You started embodying the new beliefs, showing up differently, better posture, qualifying people. How did your conversations change? How did your results change? How did your lifestyle change? Let's talk about the last little while, and also share your big, massive month that you had last month and the breakthroughs that you're having financially as well.
So everything has changed within my business. Like I'm playing a completely different game. Before, like I was saying, like I was coming off that desperate energy and I was like chasing people down. Get on a call with me. Do you want to get started? Now it's the tables have turned. Like people want me to reach out to them. People want me to ask. People want to get on a call with me. People want to buy the platform. People want to get on a coaching call, and people are excited to invest and start their business. So I've completely turned that around, and that also gives me so much more confidence and belief in the way that I show up in every aspect of my business. So now I have a consistent flow, steady flow of leads always coming in. I have too many leads to handle, and I'm working on that and automating and all the good stuff that you teach in the program, which I'm really excited for. Like I have clarity on what's the next step, and like how can I overcome this now that I have too many leads. And last month was just insane. Made $8,000 in 8 days.
Wow.
And it's insane. Like, and what I love about that is I've never focused so much on the money. It's just been keep focusing on the business and like the mindset and helping people and like all these mindset tweaks that you give us throughout the coaching. And it feels normal. Like if someone would have told me 10 months ago, like, you're going to make an 8K month in December, I would be like, well, that would be like the dream. And obviously it is, but now that I'm here, it's normal. Like I've been expecting this. And even for me to think about 15K, 20K, 30K, it doesn't feel like it's far away. Like it's only a few tweaks left. And I'm going to be there. And knowing exactly what I need to do to get there, it just makes my whole business so much more exciting.
That's so powerful. And I think you touched on something that maybe people listening have missed. This very important point is that in most people's lives, they expect to trade time for money, not results for money, not growth for money. It's just, I do these tasks, I show up for these hours, I get a paycheck, I pay my bills, and I do it again, I do it again, I do it again. But what you have described, which I believe is so cool, is that you had all this growth. You overcame these limiting beliefs. You overcame these obstacles that you continue to show up, work on yourself, do the coaching, show up to the coaching, apply yourself, and then the money came. So when the money arrived, you're like, of course it's here. I've been doing the work for a long time. Like, finally, the money showed up. There was a delay. And that's the opposite of what most people expect when they start this kind of an opportunity or a business, is they want to do a little bit and then get money, and do a little bit and get money, right? But in this case, what it is you do a lot for a long time, and you don't necessarily see a lot of money, maybe a little bit, but not anything that you have grown into. But now what's going to happen is the money's going to start to catch up. So you won't need to have months and months and months between your big months. It's going to happen more back to back, more consistently. And the really fun and exciting thing for you is going from, like you said, 8,000 to 15 to 30 is going to happen in a very short period of time, because those tweaks at scale allows you to have more income coming in. It doesn't mean you need to work twice as hard or twice as many hours to get twice as much income. That's not actually correlated with this opportunity. So I'm so excited for you, man. That's amazing. So talk to me about where you see yourself going next? Because you said you have a clear plan. You understand that your previous challenges become your new plateau, your new next level. Like a lot of people, when they're building a business, are like, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. This isn't working. This isn't working. And what I teach inside the program and what I've taught Aron is all you need to focus on is the next step. So if you have trouble with no leads, the only thing you should focus on solving is how do you get leads? Nothing else is really important at first, because then people think, well, if I have leads, then how do I sell them? And if I sell them, how do I onboard them? And they think too many steps ahead. So now you said, which is really cool, you're like, I got too many leads. I got a new problem. Your old problem was you didn't have enough leads. Now you have too many leads. So we're going to fix this problem, which means you're going to automate it and qualify them and help them get started. And then all of a sudden you're going to have a new problem and a new problem. And we just keep chipping away at it. So talk to us about your plans for 2023, your goals, and what do you expect to happen in your business if you were to forecast where's Aron going to be by the end of 2023?
Oh, exciting question. So it's obviously going to be a massive, massive year. Me and my wife have plans of buying more land, building our own like dream home on this island. And for that, obviously, we need some money. So the plan now with the business is we're going to go to 15K months consistently throughout this year, and hopefully starting in 1 or 2 months. And I think like the biggest piece here is to get more time back, because now we're getting on a lot of calls. Like I was saying, I have too many leads. My calendar is fully booked, so I don't really have time for coaching calls because it's been crazy. So the next step now is that we're going to automate the whole influx of prospects into the platform. So we're going to be having people getting started with the discovery process and all the good stuff just completely on autopilot. And then it's so much more scalable when you don't have that hands-on, holding people in their hands, walking them into the platform and just getting a lot more people in, which I'm really excited for. But also the fact that with all this work that I've been doing on myself with the mindset is we are starting to attract a lot better team members. I would say like they're more qualified. They're even putting me to shame in terms of how much they're working and how much they want this. And with everything I've learned from the program, I feel so much more like as a mentor, and I can really coach them through the first steps, like how to create ads, what to focus on, and their communication. And it's really starting to show in terms of the results in like the leads they're generating and like all the work they're doing. So not only are we like moving our business forward, but the people that we are helping are actually performing, which was a bit of a struggle in the beginning because I didn't know what I was doing. So we're really excited to see our team members completely smash their business and hopefully quit their jobs and live the dream lives, which is actually even more exciting for our future and like our plans for this year, because we know that we're going to get there. And like we already live in a sense of freedom on a beautiful island. We set our own hours and enjoy the good life. So now we want the people around us that have put their trust and faith in us and in this opportunity, and show them the way to live this life too. So it's going to be a really exciting year in a lot of aspects.
Amazing. Well, I'll tell you something, man. You're thinking too small with your income goal. I'll tell you that right now. So I say, if you listen to me and you follow my lead and continue to implement what I'll teach you, that you'll be at $30,000 months by summertime in the middle of the year and easily 50,000 by the end of the year.
Yeah,
how about that?
Even better.
How about that? So, and the reason for that is because, like you mentioned, once you get those systems in place, the shift between the additional finances is really a small jump. It seems like a huge jump because our paradigm has a hard time wrapping our minds around it. But I'm telling you, you'll probably work exactly the same amount of hours and energy and time at 15K per month as 50,000 per month. It'll be the same energy, just a bigger number, bigger results. So I'm so excited for you. Last question is for anybody who's listening right now or catching the replay, who's been considering looking into getting me as a mentor with the Diamond Life, optimizing their life, optimizing their business, and getting huge breakthroughs. What do you have to say to somebody? Because we are currently, the doors are closed, so you can't even get in even if you wanted to. But soon when we reopen the doors for those people that are waiting and excited, what would you say to them if they're a little bit unsure if they should do it?
What are you waiting for? Like, do you want to hit your goals in 1 year or in 3 or 4 or 5 years? And like, I was waiting for a way too long time. I was so worried about, not being at a high enough level to enter the mentorship. And also with the call, like I knew that once I booked that call, I'm gonna get started, because there's just no way that I don't want this. And once I heard about the investment and the cost, I was like, really? Is that it? Like, it's nothing compared to like what you can potentially win from this program. And it's not only business, it's like life optimization time, and you get so much clarity on where to put your focus to move forward in life. Not only business, this is so much more than a business mentorship. And like, I truly believe that I wouldn't be close to where I am today if it wouldn't have been for this program. I would still be kind of hit and miss with like my communication, with the calls and everything. So it's really, when you watch your leads, your prospects, they watch the web class, they're not really taking action, and you're like, what are you doing? Like, get in, this is going to change your life. This is the exact same thing, but now you're on the other end and you're waiting to take action because you're scared, you're dealing with your fears. So just get over that, get in, and it's going to change your life forever.
Wow. Thank you for those words, man. I'm so proud of you. I know it's just the beginning, just the start. Like I said, 30K, 50K, 2023. And not just the money, of course. We're not only focusing on money, but the money is just a byproduct of living your dreams, being in alignment, being fulfilled, focusing on what makes you come alive and excited, and helping and serving other people, paying it forward. Because the way we get to our ultimate goals and dreams is helping enough other people achieve their version of their goals and dreams. And so as you talk about big money, big goals, it's a market value of service you're giving to humanity. That's where your monthly and annual income comes from. So if you want to make more money, serve more people, help more people achieve their goals and dreams, or at least get started in the right direction with your advertising and your marketing and your social media, your personal brand. So I'm so super proud of you. Thanks for coming out here, sharing your story. I didn't even know about the hotel and all the backstory, but you turned adversity into a winning, inspiring story for everybody who's listening. And I can't wait to see what you create in this next season and next chapter. And I'll see you in less than 20 minutes on our accelerator call, and we'll get right back to work, Aron. Thanks for coming out, man.
Cheers.
All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.